Good evening, boyos in the chats. Busy before the show even starts. I love it. You guys are awesome. Oh man, it's been a week, huh? It's been a week this week. I I I swear sometimes it's like we live in a simulation, right? I'll joke about it sometimes that we live in some simulation, but when you start deciphering the code and you see the patterns come over and over and over, it's the same. They're about to run the same play on us. Okay, where it's we want Epstein names. No, we're gonna go to war. That'll distract you. Wait, whoa, whoa! I don't want to go to war. So we're going to war because you're still worried about that Epstein guy. No, no. Gas prices go up. Now there's rumors of food shortages. We don't care. We're fighting through it. We're paying the fee. We want those names. Oh, you want the names? How about UFOs? Huh? You guys love UFOs. Don't you want to see UFOs? Well, we've been denying it for decades, but here it is. It's real. No, no. We want Epstein names. We want the names. That's it. Release the virus. Time for a new pandemic.
Tonight, we're done pretending. Done pretending this is normal. Done pretending this makes sense. Done pretending we're being told the truth. Because we're not. We're being manipulated. Every headline, every crisis, every truth is filtered before it ever reaches you. Not to inform you, but to keep you inside the lines. Because if you ever stepped outside the narrative, even for a second, you'd start to see it. The patterns, the contradictions, the same voices telling you what to think, what to fear, and what to ignore. And it's always the same message, isn't it? You're the problem. You're the burden. You're the reason things are collapsing. Too many people, too much freedom in the United States. Meanwhile, the people writing that script, untouched. They don't fight the wars. They don't feel the shortages. They don't live with the consequences of the systems they created. But they expect you to. And they expect you to not question it. That's the deal. Stay distracted, stay divided, stay emotional, but never, ever connect the dots. Because the moment you do, their illusion breaks. And here's what they really don't want you realizing. You are not weak. You are not insignificant. You are not here by accident. You've just been told you are, over and over and over again, until you stopped arguing. Because a population that doubts itself never challenges anything. It complies. It consumes. It obeys. But tonight, we're not obeying. We're not accepting surface level answers. We're not trusting polished narratives. And we're not ignoring what's right in front of us. We're pulling it apart, layer by layer, lie by lie. Because something isn't right. It never has been. And deep down, you already knew it. Welcome to Decoded.
Ooh, thank you so much for showing up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Have we got a doozy tonight? I thought last week's episode was awesome. I loved last week's episodes. Let me just recap, right? Us poor slaves, we won't stop eating steak. We just won't. And the globalists hate it. So they go on a full court press and bioengineer a tick. Because now they have to. See what we made them do? We made them do this to us. They had to bioengineer a tick so that when we get bit by it, we'll end up in the emergency room from a beef allergy. That's the level that they've had to take it. Because we just won't stop eating our steak. We love it too much. We love our steaks. What will they ever do? That was a great episode. Now, all week long. We got aliens. Let's not forget, folks, they've been telling us since 1947 with the crash in Roswell that it's nothing. There's no such thing as UFOs or aliens. Now all of a sudden, actually are bad. Yeah, here's some files. There you go. Chew on that. Hopefully slaves start clapping your fins. What the hell's going on? There's a full court press happening. That's what's happening. What am I talking about? That's what I'm talking about. Guys already. Woo, in the chats. I love it. What do we got here? Flat currency or fiat currency. Yeah, that's coming. That's in the pipes. That's in the works. Just printing money. Well, money is life and death for people. It's just a number typed into a computer for others. Just hit print. Yeah, slaves. That we're the ones who endlessly pursue the money. Ethically piercing powers of peace permeates all the leaves, cultures diseased. Yeah, that's pretty. It's a tongue twister. Can never have enough. No, no. Who, us? The slaves or them? It's not about having enough. It's about eradicating about 85% of us off of this planet. Total control, total dominance, and they're doing it by force. Again, with the ticks. We won't stop eating beef? Fine. We'll unleash a tick on you, and then you won't be able to eat beef. There. It's already not enough they control our food and what's in it. It's not enough for them. You get sick. Everybody gets sick from the food that they supply in our stores. And then when we get sick, we got to go see their doctors. Which is even scarier than the food that we're eating. Yeah, we're going to give you this pill. What's it do? Well, you got stomach aches, right? You having IBS problems? Yeah. Well, here, this fixes IBS. And it will probably make you go blind. You'll bleed out of your ass. And you might want to think about deleting yourself. And you might do it. We don't know. But the FDA stamped approve, gave a stamp of approval and it's on the market. What are you going to do? So no, just out of nowhere, right? So gas is still not calming down. Anybody in the chat the chats I put up on the screen? Where's gas at where you're at? It's still creeping up where I'm at. Creeping up. Went way past the $4 mark. It went up $1. Now it keeps going up. And as we know, as the fuel and energy costs go up, so do our goods. You go to the grocery store, you're really feeling that pinch now going to the grocery store. Okay. So to distract us, they gave us Iran, a war we never asked for. We're paying for it. Causes the gas to go up. Number two, aliens now, because again, going back to that, they've said it was a nothing burger for decades. And now all of a sudden, here you go. And if you really look into it, there's not much there. There's not much there. I haven't dug into it because just like they did with the Epstein files, the Department of War also has a .gov, and it's the similar breakdown like the Epstein files. There's a little search bar. You could type whatever you want in there, and you could thumb through the UFO files. No, because there's bigger things behind that, and we're going to cover all that tonight. This is why tonight's going to be an excellent episode. Because then, like I said, right before the intro, we're not impressed with these UFO files, okay? We already knew they were real. We knew you guys were lying. We knew it. We want the names unredacted from the Epstein files, and they're like, that's it. HANTAVIRUS, I don't know what it's called. Another new pandemic that they worked up. Then trying to learn a little bit about that, I'm hearing a couple different things. Okay, so it's unclear until the CDC tells us what the science is. They're going to wheel out Fauci again. Here we go, Fauci 3.0. But anyways, it's caused by like the poop of mice and rats, right? So those people out there on that cruise ship, contract the virus, and it's supposedly not transmittable from human to human. It's supposed to not be. But the CDC's warming up. We're going to cover this too later in the show. This will be hour 2. First is UFOs, because that's my favorite. But then we'll get to the virus, because it's like a 1-2 punch. UFOs? Oh, yeah. And then we're going to disguise this virus that it's not supposed to be transmittable from human to human. But if it is, if we later find out that it is, then we'll know that the thing's been worked on in a laboratory and was given gain of function. And we all know that term from the last go around, right? So here we go again. It's like, do you guys run out of place to run? You just did this 4 years ago. We're doing the same thing again, because it was the same thing. Ukraine. Americans flipping their wigs about funding the war in Ukraine, saying Ukraine's not going to win that war. We're tired of giving money. That's it. Pull out the coronavirus. We're going to lock everybody down. No school. No, you're not visiting your grandparents for Thanksgiving or Christmas. You could forget it. And arbitrarily 6 feet of distance at the stores, and wear 3 masks and 14 masks, and take this jab and do that, and it's safe and effective. Don't worry. It's the warp speed. And you're just like, it's nonstop. But literally, they just ran this 4 years ago. We're going to do this again. Is it the old bait and switch? They're hoping we don't fall for it this time, because this hantavirus is apparently has the mortality rate at 40%. Unlike the last one that had, 1%? Less than 1%? Well, this one's a 40. And let's find out that, actually, no, it can be transmitted from human to human. Oh, my God. There's so much to unpack here, folks. So much to unpack. Let's see. Someone bought our local gas station and tacked on 30 cents. Woo. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, let's just pause for a second to appreciate the crazy we are in right now. They're literally sidestepping child trafficking, high-profile people, giving us aliens? Yes. Come on, you guys see it. You have to see it. Gas is almost $5 now. Ooh, wee. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, the shit happens all the time. People catch shit. They get sick. Happens all over. Dying from starvation, but we get these hyped up situations. Problem, reaction, solution, which is about the base core of really tonight's episode. Both aliens and another deadly virus pandemic scare. Problem, reaction, solution. They are moving towards one end game. One goal. There's ads on Facebook saying how many people the COVID vaccines say, oh, godly. Well, I've heard the opposite. I've actually heard that this strain of hantavirus, and we'll get there hopefully. I don't know if I have anything from Stu Peters pulled up, but saying that hantavirus, this is going to sound nuts, somehow was in the jabs and the boosters. It's a slippery slope, folks, but that's why we're here. And then, of course, Roma, rinse and repeat. Give us something different. I want something different. I want to be caught off guard. Run a fake punt. All right? I'm lined up right now to return the punt. Run a fake. I'm tired of the same rinse and repeat. I'm really sick of it. At this point, like, we're calling the shots before they even do it. Hey, can we get those Epstein names? War. Okay, no, we didn't forget about the Epstein names. They really think we have memories like goldfish. Like, eventually they're going to stop asking about the Epstein files. They're going to stop talking about it eventually. And then we don't. And they're like, okay, give them aliens. They give us aliens. And that literally lasted like 30 seconds. Like, people were like, yeah, we still didn't forget about the files with the names we want. Damn it. All right. time for another pandemic. We're just going to shut everything down. It's like you get sick of it. You're just so sick of it. Yes, I heard the same. Like it affects people that got the jab. That was the whole thing, man. Alex had a doctor on. This was probably like a couple years ago. I saw this, but because we know it wasn't a vaccine, right? It was a mRNA gene therapy. And what the mRNAs do is they communicate with your immune system. And when they're running these gene therapies, it will actually communicate to your immune system like, hey, don't attack this. When you see this come in, leave it alone. Don't fight it. Or as your body's normal autoimmune response would be to fight a foreign thing like a virus. So everybody, and this is just speculation, folks. This is absolutely just speculation. I heard this from a doctor Alex Jones had on. So just, Ezra's not saying it, or Ezra's not a doctor. But they don't know. Nobody knows what that mRNA that they gave everybody is communicating to everybody's immune systems. So the next thing, because let's not forget Fauci and who else? Bill Gates, both said it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, meaning the next pandemic. They're saying another one's going to happen. That's great, because that means, they're going to release the next thing into the world population. And if you got the jab, what if the mRNA from the jabs from C19 is actually telling the immune system, yeah, this next one that's coming up, don't fight it. Just leave it alone. And then that's the one they unleash. That could probably be real close to that 85% they're going after. It could be. I'm speculating, but, golly, if there's a way to flush that shit out of your body. Kimchi? Kimchi's for microplastics. Methylene blue is for like the metals in our bodies. What gets rid of the jabs? I don't know. People trying to cause the apocalypse, they're going to fuck around and find out. That's what I think. They really are just pushing for this hard. Like they're trying to rush it. Hey, baby, Armageddon's supposed to happen on somebody else's watch, not yours. And they're going to fuck around and find out. It's probably why aliens are here. I mean, I think, again, man, I've got theories. Everybody's got a theory. They never left. They've been here the whole time. Aliens. We're the ones probably foreign to the planet, not them. They've been here long before we were here, and they're going to be here long after we're gone. But I think we're like on some kind of like watch list, if you will. We don't mess with the humans. We're just kind of watching them, collecting data. We'll pick one up from time to time and test them out, put them to sleep, and then put them right back in their beds. They have no idea we even took them. Oops. Yeah, the aliens are going to show up and say, oh, you poor things. Maybe give us another leg up. I don't know. There are nice ones out there, but they seem to follow some prime directive. They're only allowed to watch. They're not allowed to intervene. But I suppose if we're getting a game ran on us by a different species, maybe another species could maybe step up to the plate and go, hey, you're not supposed to be messing with these. That'd be nice. But I think we're hoping too much. I think the Arcturians want us to figure it out ourselves. They're like, nah, you got to figure it out. Which then comes into the don't participate thing. Ezra might have been abducted by aliens. I think I was. Not today, though. He said it's 10:17 this time. No, it wasn't. Oh, it is right now. It is at the time of that message. I think we are way out in the boonsticks. And they only come once in a great while, but also interdimensional beings here amongst us that are always here. The universe is stranger than we know it is. Actually, these clips I got pulled up, I believe Alex talks about that. interdimensional. Between him and David Icke, they really, not that I don't, I'm sure there are interdimensional beings that, again, materialize, dematerialize, or they're just being state is in a light fraction that our eyes can't see. I mean, because again, scientifically, the light spectrum, if it was this long, the human eye cone retina could only see like this much of that whole light spectrum. That's a whole lot going on. Which probably, if any of you are cat people, and you ever look at your cat and your cat's staring at the corner and you're like, what the fuck are you looking at, man? You're freaking me out. What are you looking at? There's nothing there. What are you staring at? Uh-huh. They've got sight beyond sight, those cats. It's probably why they're revered, right? From ancient Egypt and the whole history of mankind, cats are always revered as a mystical creature. You know, witches always have a cat. Wizards have a cat. Egyptians always had cats. It's got to be true because we are such a dumb... Amen, brother. Yes, we are. Golly. All right. So I got little things pulled up here. There's some things going on. One of the things that had happened that was in the news was, I guess, like the government or some agency of the government invited a bunch of the country's pastors to a meeting. And in this meeting, they told these pastors, you're going to want to prepare your flock. Prepare your people. Like, for what? For aliens. Get them really comfortable with the notion that you know, aliens might have had a hand in fashioning them. And so, yeah, let's watch a little bit. I'll bring it up, you guys. Get your popcorn ready.
This is a very powerful report going back to my show almost 20 years ago, where I'm covering clergy response teams, training for martial law, gun confiscation under the Democrats, under Clinton. People always spun this and said, I'm against the military and police. No, it was military and police gave us the documents, gave us the stuff. We broke it over and over again. The MIAC report, all of it, where they were training the military and police for gun confiscation, martial law. They tried it back in 93 with Waco, tried to kick that off, but the public saw what was happening. They tried it at Ruby Ridge. Oklahoma City. It was all about getting the government ready to attack the American people and bring in martial law. Didn't work. Then Trump gets in, the military gets outwardly focused. I say that's not a problem right now. People go, oh, you love the military and police now. I always did. I didn't like them being prepared for war with us. They were the ones that told me about it. Army intelligence, state police, FBI agents that gave us information, who were good. But in that, they're training the clergy for alien invasion, martial law, nuclear war, virus releases, all of it. So I came out yesterday, it went viral everywhere, pointing out that we always heard from insiders and saw some documents going back decades and decades ago, Stephen Greer and others, that they were going to try a fake alien invasion, colloquially known as Project Bluebeam. We'll talk to Daniel List here in a moment if we play this clip. Expert journalist on this, dark journalist, former Wall Street Journal writer, on the disclosures yesterday, what's coming, what is this really happening, what's next? Why are all these scientists and people missing and being found dead, including the head of the black budget space program? Now missing months and months and months right after Trump announced he was going to declassify it all. So there's a war over what's about to come out. Why was yesterday a nothing burger?
Oh, yeah. I didn't think of that. That's why Alex makes the big bucks. I didn't even think of that. I did cover it a couple episodes ago, right? The scientists that came up missing were those scientists who were working on propulsion systems, certain UFO researchers, even out of like government agencies. Like, the timing of that is suspicious, huh? They're missing. Some came up deleted, self-deleted, but others have just gone missing and no word of them. And then all of a sudden release the UFO files. That's crazy. This one here, huh? This one's crossed my mind a bunch, actually, over even just the decades of Alex doing what he's doing. I've thought this because, I mean, some of the things that he has said and still says, and I'm like, and you're still alive? Something stinks. How many times has he been right? Also suspicious, or it's just that he has studied and read so much, because this is me coping with me thinking, trying to make myself believe that he's not an asset of some kind, is that maybe he's done so much research way further than I started doing research, and he saw the patterns, and it's just, again, the same patterns over and over. I mean, he called 9/11 before it happened. Again, yeah, could he be an asset? Yeah. I think Rogan is. I actually think Rogan has been totally compromised. Somebody was on his show. It was Kurt Metzger. That's right. And Kurt Metzger, he's out there. I'm really like loving Kurt Metzger more and more the more I watch him. But Kurt Metzger starts talking about goofy stuff that he probably shouldn't be talking about, and Rogan's like, "What? Really? What?" And when I saw that clip, I was like, "Oh, stop it, Joe. Like, Joe, you're Mr. I know everything. You have all these guests from a wide spectrum of subjects, and now all of a sudden Kurt Metzger's talking about, like, evil cabals and the people involved, and all of a sudden now you're going to play dumb like you don't know." I was like, "Yep, they got to him. They got to Rogan. You're not going to get $125 million Spotify deal and not be given the talk." There always been corruption, elite class. It's always going to be there. We just experience the drama game they narrate. We live in those constraints. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like, it's like a living theater. Have you heard of like those murder mystery dinners? Where, I don't know, you'll take your wife out to this fancy restaurant or dinner. It's at a house, and all of the people there are actors, and it turns into this whole like murder mystery drama that you're a part of because you're there. This is the same premise, except we're all living it. It's like a actual, when they say world stage, that's what it is. And it's a big drama that we get pulled into. People pick their teams, people pick their ideologies, and that's their team, and that's who they're going to ride and die with. And meanwhile, the people who write the scripts, kicking back, just watching it unfold, just like they wrote it up. Romy's been Wang Chunging for years. So tired of the constant tipping point, but never tipping. Yeah, that's the game. That's the game. Yeah, whatever's happening, it's working. And keeping the pressure released. Pressure release is working. Because we just keep complying. Until we don't. Yeah, when Theo talked to Rogan, and he wanted to say something, Rogan was like, "Hey, whoa, whoa, hey, whoa, 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 whoa." Yeah, I think they got to him. But Alex, I mean, is it part of the theater? They sued the guy for $1 billion on some lie or some antitrust situation. All he said was, and he said it for like 20 minutes on one show of his, that Sandy Hook was staged. The very next day he went on air, he apologized and was like, no, it wasn't staged. It was just a quick knee-jerk reaction, and he apologized, and then he never said it again. Then like 8 to 10 years later, they sue him on it for $1 billion. He had to shut InfoWars. The Onion took over now. Now he's got the Alex Jones Network. I don't know, man. It's all confusing. It's all confusing, but I am highly curious on how Alex hasn't just been, taken out. I've heard of those. Never been. I don't have much. I mean, I don't either. We can't afford it. Okay. Nobody can afford fun. What's fun? Nobody knows anymore. Fun is like, woo, I paid my fucking all the month's bills. Woo, that was fun. That was so much fun. I paid all my bills. Okay, now I got to get back on the horse again because another round of bills are coming in. Never fucking stops. Family legacy to control the population. Yeah, because again, they think they're star seeds and they were given dominion over humans on Earth. So basically, we're just slaves. All of us. I'm so tired of hearing like all this shit about like black and white and all these race relations. Like, we're all fucking slaves now, just so everybody's clear. We all are, but you know, just let's just keep infighting because that'll help us figure this out, won't it? Fighting with each other, the slaves fighting amongst themselves, not knowing that they're being completely manipulated and controlled constantly through fear and the pressure that you just said create. 80s is the best. I said we peaked. You know, the other day in a Bears chat, I said that in the comments because Adam Hogue was talking about, like, you know, he's been very involved in sports and youth sports. And he had said that, you know, the parents, how they act at the games and how irate they get with the umpires and the refs and all that. And he just wanted people, he just gave a little social message, a little public announcement to like parents need to calm down and relax and take a breath. And I put in the chat, I said, yeah, we peaked in the 80s. Okay, this country absolutely peaked in the 80s and it's been downhill since. And then somebody who's gay in the chat was like, oh, it's peaked in the 80s. Some people say the most stupidest shit. And I was like, yeah, okay. So that person was somebody who was born after the 80s and got their widow feelings hurt by the book of Ezra. They got their widow feelings hurt because they were born after the 80s. They don't want to be known as part of the downhill. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. But the 80s was the best. That was it. 80s and then pew. Alex was a victim of his own success, and I think they got to him. And Rogan, and who knows who else. They could have gotten an army of online influencers. They do. And I question everybody. That's where I'm at. That's how deep in the weeds I am. Like the shit with Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes. They're all just playing a role. I'm sorry, I can't help it. But to think that way. They're all just playing there because it's all just divide. And anytime there's like some real grassroots galvanizing, they got to get in there and boom, 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 hurry up, start separating it, start breaking that up. I miss having no computers and cell phones. For real, Romy. Like, for real. That has been one of the downfalls. I get Big Mike. I got a new Bears hat. There you go. That's having fun, brother. Got a new Bears hat. Hell's yeah. Like those kids on YouTube shows where the adults are also yelling, and with the weird loud energy, the kids instantly get it. I know, right? The kids are drawn to that erratic, wild energy that YouTubers, the famous ones, have. You gotta act all silly all the fucking time, and you're doing all these fucking things, and the kids can't get enough of it. Oh God. Yeah, create everything. Okay, the music, the hair, the socially going out, and disco, because disco was still around right there at the 80s. I was a little tiny kid, but don't tell me our parents weren't fucking sniffing cocaine and dancing at discos and shit and having a time of their fucking lives, not knowing what was on the horizon of what their Gen X kids would have to fucking deal with and try to fight back against and resist. Not a clue, not a care in the world. When you could buy a house for $32,000, huh? How about that? Romy, I went on a binge last summer and bought like 10 bear hats and Bulls hats. Hey, take it easy, big spender. No, you got to treat yourself. That's a rule of mine. You fucking work hard, bust your ass, make sure your bills are paid and put into your little savings, but you got to treat yourself. You have to. Now that would be a skullet. My hair traveled from my head to my. You were a long hair, Romy? A fucking long hair? Like, yeah, Talica. Yeah. Nice. Romy was a fucking rocker. A long hair. I could tell you a normal human being. I could tell Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens are trained liars. Yeah, oh, Ben especially. That fucking kid, boy, he showed his true colors. He showed his true colors at the start of that fucking Palestine-Israel conflict. Boy, did he show his ass. Woof. Which also Alex called out. Like, there was a while there where I liked Ben Shapiro. At the very beginning, when he first was coming out with his little videos, just dominating stupid college kids in debates. Like, I was like, this kid's smart. He knows his shit, and I like what he's saying. I liked him. And then Alex over here, who I also admire and look up to, and I like Alex, is like, he's fucking full shit. He gets his money from big banks in Israel and all this shit. And I'm like, Alex, relax, dude. Same team, buddy. Same team. Chill out. Turns out Alex was right. Create. Bear down, baby. Bear down. America's cup of coffee. Create. And now the dust has settled and the shape-shifting lizards and doing God knows what to kids and ritualistic sacrifices. That's where we're at. Yeah. Good old time sniffing coke and dancing to fucking disco music. and then came in the shape-shifting lizards with them doing satanic sacrifices on children. And we can't get one fucking name. We can get plenty of wars. We get lots of distractions. We get forced in and herded into fucking corners. Like Obama. How can people not see that? Their whole aura is like this presentation. Yeah, did you see like a maid of theirs? Speaking of the Obamas, I just saw this like a few days ago. So first it was their chef. Apparently flung himself over a cliff. And now a maid. You can't even work for these people. That's what it boils down to. Like, hey, there's this really good paying job. It's for the Clintons. You want it? Fuck no. Wait, how much is it? It's like $200,000 a year. Nah, I'll pass. I'll stick with my $40,000 a year job. I'm fine. No. Are you sure that's really good money? Like, you won't have to worry about money anymore. I know, but I'll have to worry about not going home some night. For God knows, I don't even know what I did. Yeah, they had a housekeeper. Came up deceased. You can't even work for these people. That's where it's at. You can't even work an honest day's job. All right, back to Alex. Come on, let's hear what he says here.
Well, now we're learning that Trump ordered it all released and they didn't, just like happened over and over again with the JFK stuff. And I believe that because it's come out in the past on other subjects. But know this, they have all these preachers going, you're going to have your faith shaken when you learn the aliens are real, and you know that, and does it shake your faith? God says he has many flocks. There's fallen angels marooned on this planet. It makes us know. They've already proven evolution and the theory isn't right. We have these huge jumps. But they're telling you this will hurt your faith. We're here to help you in the pain of this. That was always one of the Blue Beam Project plans, was to bring in a one world religion and discredit Christianity. So I broke that down, and the crew found clips of me exposing this a long time ago. But when you hear these preachers, oh, I'm part of an intelligence agency now, I'm meeting in these meetings about the aliens about to be exposed and how worried they are. The message is strengthen your faith, but oh, it's going to be shaken. It's the opposite, and they're telling you right there what they're doing. Here's the report.
But there were a large number of pastors that had been invited to go to a certain state to hear some men in the United States government and others share with them a concern that they had. There's going to be a release concerning aliens and concerning unidentified flying object spacecraft that some of the people who were in the meeting were telling us as pastors, you need to prepare your people and you need to get ready to answer them for what you're about to hear being released.
Flashback.
And the preachers are there being paid by the government, faith-based initiative now continuing under Obama, to tell their flocks to do what they're told by the authorities, and the government's biggest threat is the American people. That's a quote.
Okay. Wedge! Good evening, sir. Welcome, welcome. And actually, great movie. The Fourth Kind. Yeah, that was a great movie. I watched it twice. Because, yeah, right, when they were getting the recordings of the alien, it was speaking Sumerian, which goes to the Anunnaki. Yeah, that movie was creepy. Oof. Super creepy movie. Didn't know it was a true story, though. I was just like, wow, this is really accurate because, again, my contention is that aliens, the Anunnaki, they're the ones who are involved with us intimately, with us being part of their DNA. So, yeah, okay. I did not, you know what? I might, like, rewatch it now, going into it going, oh, this is a true story. I know it's a docudrama. It's based on a true story. Anytime someone says, you think Ozzy. Oh, he's been gone. Rest in peace, Ozzy, man. He's at peace now. His soul can rest now. Oh, no, you went to bed last night and you saw this owl? You got. They got you. They took you in the middle of your sleep. And, you know, as long as you don't know. As long as you don't know. They don't know. They put you to sleep. They carry you off. They do whatever. And then they bring you back, put you right in your bed, just the way they found you. And you wake up like, I need some coffee. I didn't sleep too well for some reason. I slept through the night, but I don't feel well rested. My butt hurts a little bit. They say it's all fake, and that's when you know it's real. Well, I know, but so create, man, this is where the mind job comes in. And I had said this months ago on the show here. Like when they said, when the government said that UFOs were real, this is obviously, I don't know, 6 months ago, 8 months ago. I had just started doing this show, and the government came out and said that. I go, oh no, just keep saying I'm crazy. Don't say it's real now because of that. I've been going off of that formula for so long. Whatever you see on the TV, whatever you hear come from the government, just assume that the opposite is true. And I was okay with them saying that they're not real because I knew that they fucking are. But now when they come out and they're like, oh no, it's real. I'm like, oh, just no. I don't like this arrangement anymore. Don't tell me they're real now. I mean, I already knew. But the fact is you guys just constantly lie. So just keep lying, okay? So that, but now you're telling me they're real and here's files and it's like, no. All the boys love Hooters, Romy. All us boys love Hooters. Don't care if they're fake. I fucking love Romy, dude. All right, here we go.
This is a test of the emergency alert system.
Okay, so basically what he's getting at is, so not only do pastors get the call from certain government agencies to, hey, prepare your people for aliens and this and that. Apparently, they tell them to like comply with FEMA and government demands during a crisis. So like, you know, people who are super strong in their faith look up to their pastors, and the people that are, I don't know, elders or highly ranked in their church, they'll take their guidance, you know, if it's a big enough pastor and he's like, look, if this is what the pastor's going to say, because martial law's on the brink because aliens are invading or there's some mega the pandemic going on, if the pastors tell their people, look, just go to the city centers, go wherever FEMA's telling you to go there, and then at the end of it, we'll sort it out then. But for now, you got to respond and do what you're told and get to the cities. Basically ushering them into the 5-minute cities. Let's continue.
Let's go ahead and play the clergy response team clip. Now, remember, before this became national news, we got the secret documents from pastors who've been recruited by FEMA. We posted the secret documents with FEMA phone numbers. Train your flocks to turn their guns in. Train your flocks to go to FEMA camps. Train your flocks to take forced inoculations. People didn't believe us, just like they didn't believe the MIAC report. Then suddenly local news began reporting it, but like it was a good thing. Now listen, will martial law ever be a reality? And the preachers are there being paid by the government, faith-based initiative now continuing under Obama, to tell their flocks to do what they're told by the authorities, and the government's biggest threat is the American people. That's a quote. So this is specifically the pastors getting ready for us to go to FEMA camps. And there's thousands of pieces of evidence like this, and Glenn Beck's saying it doesn't exist. Here it is.
Law ever become a reality in America? Some fear any nuclear, biological, or chemical attack on U.S. territory might trigger just that. And as KSLA News 12's Jeff Farrell discovered, the clergy would help the government with potentially their biggest problem, us.
From my cold, dead hands.
Charlton Heston's famous declaration captures a truly American value, the overarching desire to protect our freedoms. But gun confiscation is exactly what happened during the state of emergency following Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans. U.S. troops also arrived, something far easier to do even now thanks to last year's elimination of the 1878 Posse Comitatus Act. That forbid U.S. troops from policing on American soil. If martial law were enacted here at home, like depicted in the movie The Siege, easing public fears and quelling dissent would be critical. And that's exactly what the clergy response team, as it's called, helped accomplish in New Orleans.
Jeff, the primary thing that we say to anybody is let's cooperate and get this thing over with, and then we'll settle the differences once the crisis is over.
Such clergy response teams would walk a tightrope between the needs of the government versus the wishes of the public.
In a lot of cases, these clergy would already be known in the neighborhoods in which they're helping to defuse that situation.
For the clergy, one of the biggest tools that they will have in helping calm the public down or obey the law is the Bible itself, specifically Romans 13.
Because the government's established by the Lord, you know, and that's what we believe in the Christian faith. That's what's stated in the Scripture.
Civil rights advocates believe the amount of public cooperation may depend largely on how long they expect a suspension of their rights might last.
Congressman Burchett, myself, and many others predicted that the so-called release by the Pentagon, the CIA, and the FBI.
So that's an interesting shirt that Alex is wearing there. That's actually like a Sumerian symbol, the circle in the middle with the wings, which is usually a depiction, at least from Zecharia Sitchin, of ancient people trying to depict what they saw in the sky. They saw like a disc flying, so they gave the circle wings. And I'm sure Alex knows exactly what he's doing. So
FBI of the real alien files and disclosure and what's going on with the UFOs and do they have the craft and all of that. And we've seen this build up the last 5 years really intensely with all these clear disinformation agents coming into Congress, putting out rabbit trails that go nowhere, obscuring what's really happening, claiming that there's about to be this huge disclosure so they can focus people on their disinformation, and then going around basically with government-sponsored clergy response teams that in the past they set up to tell churches, turn in your guns during martial law, things like that. These are government-controlled pastors. Now they have these government-controlled pastors under an FBI program called InfraGard, and it's also connected to NASA and the CIA. It's all public. Going around saying, I'm a pastor that works for intelligence agencies, and the aliens are real, and you need to get ready to have your faith shaken, and about the Bible and Jesus, and they're using it to undermine, really, Christianity, saying they're defending it. So this is a larger psyop just to screw with everybody's brains and to just further shake confidence in society. That is 100% what's going on here. And they're also setting the precedent to do a false flag and claim it's aliens to create even more hysteria. So this is queuing up and preparing what is colloquially known. It's not an official document. There are official documents. But for decades, it's been known as blue beam, meaning a fake alien invasion. And that's what Dr.
I mean, would it not like be common sense that that's what comes next? Like, you just here, folks, aliens are real, and let us marinate on it for just a little bit. I wonder how long it's going to be until like we're going to start seeing these things everywhere, unless of course I have some other stuff pulled up where people are now starting to see spacecraft everywhere now, a little more frequently than usual, coincidentally. I didn't forget about yous, Romy. I didn't forget about yous. I'm watching the clips with you guys. I'm just trying to let them finish like each portion, and then I'll stop and do my bullshit and then let them go a little bit more. We're getting close to this hour mark, so I'm going to skip up out of here, because he does have another thing again. This one is in Alex. This is just, you guys are familiar with Dr. Alan Greer, right? I have not seen this yet, but it looks very interesting. So, again, we'll be watching this together quickly, because I want to get to the new pandemic scare. What's Alan Greer saying? Watch this guy too, because this is another guy who probably shouldn't be going around saying these things, and he's been doing it now for way too long. Okay, what's he always hiding and ducking and dodging? And so watch out for this guy too, but it's still important to take in the information. It says telepathic show, I guess. I mean, am I right? Here we go.
Because we pretty much have exposed the falsehood of a fake alien invasion. Now they're going to try to pivot it to it being a holy war between humans and the agents of Satan, et cetera, and so on. So it's a very, very reckless, irresponsible, and dangerous thing that the vice president of the United States would say that. And I am going to be quite clear with people that he knows who are on my team that that cannot be allowed to be repeated. So now it's one thing, Tucker Carlson is saying that you have a lot of the far right religious people who don't understand the cosmology and the physics of interstellar travel saying it. And it's a bunch of superstitious claptrap, because we pretty much have exposed the falsehood of a fake alien invasion.
Big Mike. I told you they were going to fake space to bring back fake aliens and then lab-made viruses. Oh, shit. Space isn't fake, Big Mike. That shit's real. It goes on and on and on. I'm not done chiseling away at you. Wedge. Those poor people on that cruise ship just became a huge science experiment. Yes. Patient zeros. Yep. And again, when we find out later, because again, the hantavirus is supposedly not transmittable from human to human. And when we find out that in fact that it is, then we'll further know that the thing's been given gain of function in a laboratory setting by the same assholes who gave gain of function to the last fucking thing that went around. Except this one is a little more, has a higher mortality rate than the other. That's why I don't go on a cruise. I won't go on a cruise for different reasons I won't say on tonight's show. But Big Mike knows what I'm talking about. He says, fuck that. I don't believe in NASA paintings. That's fair. That is fair. We're all here in this simulation trying to work out the bugs. I'm going to give you your space on that, Big Mike. If we ain't long enough, the ship should just fall of the side of the flat Earth. So there's that. If we ain't long enough, the ship should just fall right off the side of the flat. Oh, so there's that. I get it now. I get it now. You know I don't like almonds on my split. Those aren't almonds. That's rat poison, boy. Rat turds. Rat turds. Let's see. I wonder if he talks about it in this. We're going to find out. Let's see. Here we go, boys. Here we go. Thank you, Dr. Alan Greer, for foiling their plans yet again with the Project Bluebeam. They don't have to do Project Bluebeam now because Project Bluebeam was supposed to be like holographic alien ships. Now that they've told us that they're real and here's the files, you guys marinate on that, they can actually roll out our next gen spacecraft and just show it to the world, and we'll all be like, holy fuck, it's aliens, holy shit. And it's totally like U.S. Air Force pilots piloting them. Some of that premium cruise food. Free drinks.
This is really the big enchilada, is the hantavirus. I'm telling you. I told you, it's the UN grandstanding for their global UN treaty, their global health treaty to take over your life. And now there's the UN. Israel detects first hantavirus. So it's the first on a cruise ship, and now it's spreading in humans everywhere, and now it's in Singapore, and now it's here, and now it's there, and now it's in Argentina. Ah! Do they have their operatives on the ground doing false tests and reporting? Or have they weaponized hantavirus because it doesn't normally spread human to human? It has all the hallmarks, all the earmarks, all the telltale signs of a staged event, and now you've got the hype machine kicking in. The EU, wear your mask, don't go out, lockdowns are needed, stop airline travel. It's all beginning again. They want lockdowns, they want control, they want to crash the economy, and if the war won't do it, and if the Strait of Hormuz gets opened, what have I said? They'll use war, they'll use viruses, they'll use migrant flows, because it's in their own UN documents of how they're going to bring in world government to do that.
And this, my friends, is the end game of it all. Here comes the end game of it all. Whether they're doing this stupid Strait of Hormuz thing and we're getting squeezed to death by higher gas prices and higher food costs. Next will be food shortages. That's the very next thing when it comes to the food. Higher energy costs. It's going to cost you $1,000 to cool your house during summer. $1,000 a month to heat your house during winter. So nobody's going to be doing none of that shit. I'm telling you, we might as well just stop participating because that's what we'd be doing anyways. Aliens. Oh, God. Then we're all going to freak out. 5-minute cities. Everybody get to the cities. And it'll be the same fucking thing with this virus. Except this virus kind of does have, again, the one variable that I find concerning about this one, because the last one, you know, when you hear from so many like actual doctors who got nuked off of YouTube telling you it's the flu. It's basically the flu. And you're like, oh, that's not bad. Yeah. Less than 1% of people die from this thing. And you're like, all right. My body can fight the flu. This one, on the other hand, has a 40% mortality rate, which is a tad bit higher. Okay, it's damn near 50. So that's where the things get a little hairy. Just real quick, let's see. Here come the checks. Just take the money, commies. I just hope the vaccines actually work this time and take out the mass crowd. Well, this goes back to my whole thing about the doctor that I heard on Alex's show like a year or so ago. That the mRNA, a gene therapy, communicates with someone's immune system and says, fight this virus, fight that virus, don't fight this virus, and don't fight that virus. That's what the gene therapy does. And this is why they wanted so many people. They wanted everybody. They wanted complete 100% cooperation on this worldwide. And then after it died down and they got everybody who they were going to get, and those who resisted really stood their ground. Shout out to all of you who stood your fucking ground. Pure bloods. You know how much our blood's going to be worth in the future? We're just got gold pumping through our veins right now, boys. I digress. After it all starts to die down, the dust settles on that, you got Fauci and Bill Gates going, yep, when the next one happens, when the next pandemic happens, it's really going to be worse than this one. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Oh, so you guys already got one cooking up. Okay. So then what if the boosters and the Modernas and all the things was a setup for the next thing? Because if they worked on one in a lab, they'll work on the next one in a lab. And then the gene therapy is telling someone's immune system, hey, don't fight this one. See this one right here? Don't fight that one. Just let it run its course. And what if that next one is this next one? Okay, so Big Mike, you might get what you asked for. These fucking people got a shot for some weed and a cheeseburger. Dude, that shit infuriated me. When I saw that on TV and I saw that fucking governor, who was it? New Jersey? That fucking slimy. All of them, actually, but that one guy who ate the burgers and fries was like, I love burgers. Don't you love burgers? Just get the shot and you get a free burger. I'm like, you fucking demon. Burgers? You guys should have actually said, like, how about $5,000? We'll give you $5,000 if you get the shot. This fucker is out here peddling cheeseburgers. Oh, I was fucking hot. Look at me. I'm getting fucking pissed now talking about it.
But just like a light switch, when they start to turn off this Iran war, which we have a very good chance of happening now, and this is just amazing, 69 days in.
I wouldn't be so sure, Alex. It's part of the big stew of shit that they're stirring up and making. The war's not stopping. That's just another element. It's going to be the Iran shit with aliens and now a pandemic. We're about to get fucking trifected here. This is going to be this is the hat trick. This is for the game. They're making their move. This is for the game. No timeouts left. 2 minutes. Caleb Williams at quarterback. They're going for the fucking win. But I'll let them continue.
They flipped the switch with the HANTAVIRUS. And I've studied the cruise ship. I've studied what's happening in Singapore, the EU, Argentina, the propaganda bureaus, the operations, all of it. This is 100% COVID 2.0 hysteria. The HANTAVIRUS if you believe the reports of how it spreads human to human so easily and how it's killing people so quickly, appears to be weaponized, appears to be gain of function. Because we've studied the HANTAVIRUS. It's what killed Gene Hackman's wife because she went untreated and died in the bed because he had Alzheimer's, and then he wandered around for a week and fell over with a heart attack. What a great guy. Love that guy. But the point is, I mean, it can kill you. You know, it kills 5, 6, 7 people a year in the United States, usually an Indian reservation. It's in rat and mice feces, and it's very hard for human to human. In fact, they're not even sure when you read the literature that it actually is human to human. They're pretty sure it's only rodents to human. So you basically got to ingest or get some rat poop in some food you eat, because the virus can live inside there for a while. And it uses that as a delivery system.
Yeah, and here's this. So the people were on the ship are already back out in general population now. Just wait for it, boys. Just wait for it.
Vector. So I'm going to be getting into that, but it has all the hallmarks, all the earmarks, all the telltale signs of a staged event. And now you've got the hype machine kicking in. The EU, wear your mask, don't go out, lockdowns are needed, stop airline travel. It's all beginning again. They want lockdowns, they want control, they want to crash the economy, and if the war won't do it, and if the Strait of Hormuz gets opened, what have I said? They'll use war, they'll use viruses, they'll use migrant flows, because it's in their own UN documents of how they're going to bring in world government to do that. Would you like me to cite where those are? There's a lot of them, but you can go to the lawsuit by Judicial Watch and Lou Dobbs, 2 different ones. In 2007, they got the documents right as my film was finishing, Endgame. We put it in the film. It's free online, Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement.
Yeah, one of these nights I'm going to do a watch party of that Endgame. I mean, I'm just going to hit, it's 3 hours long. I'm just going to hit play and you're just going to see me. Romy, you might think I'll fall asleep during it at some point, but you'll see me eating my popcorn and drinking my drinks. It is so good.
Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement. And the UN says we're going to bring in world government using disease X, probably a respiratory virus out of China, they say, and collapsing third world populations, flooding the West, economic collapse, and war. So they tell you at the Rockefeller Foundation, at the UN, at the WF, how they're going to do it. That's how I know it. And in 2004 documents, the CDC's like, to create fear and train people to be in lockdowns, we'll say 6 feet apart and wear masks and close all major non-essential events. So people asked years before, how did I predict they would do all this? They see clips me doing that. It was off of a damn government document. We've been right about the poison shots and raised the main alarm, and right about the open borders, and right about the wars. And
There you have it. Well, that's how he knows about some of these things. They print these in publishings. They publish the fucking things. Again, there's like one of these things where if Satan's going to do something to you, like he has to tell you, hey, I'm going to do this to you. You cool? Cool with this? And you either, it's a free will universe, and you decide, yeah, okay, I don't know. Yeah, just put a chip in my hand, I guess. Yeah. Chip me, baby. Let's go. I want to keep buying my cheeseburgers from McDonald's. Chip away. Put the chip in there. Let's go. Or you're going to be like, no, fuck you. Take that chip and shove it up your ass. I'll be here. I got a chicken coop. I got fucking canned vegetables in here. I'll be good forever. As long as you leave me to fuck alone. That's something, ain't it? That is something. Let's see what else I got here. Oh, this is a good one. Big Mike, you like this one? Talking about you're hoping that the last boosters and all that take care of some work. Well, here's some other info, apparently. Here's some more info about what that thing has done. Yeah, I'm telling you, purebloods, we're gonna be worth millions, or they're gonna hunt us down like animals. One of the two. This is what the jabs did.
Is produced in the deltoid muscles where the vaccine is administered, injected.
Is this guy dying while he's telling us? Did this guy get fully boosted too? I need to hurry. I'm dying. I am dying right now in the middle of this conference. This poor guy.
But we could show it in almost all organs, more or less explicitly. And here you see a case where we show the testes, and you can see that in this 28-year-old man who had a healthy son and who died 140 days after injection, the spike protein is strongly expressed in the spermato.
Okay, so I have to translate for everybody. Men who are fully boosted, got all the jabs and all their boosters like good little slaves. Their semen is producing spike proteins, which is going to be immediate health risk for women who sleep with them, and they're in the babies after conception. Basically making people infertile by causing the spike proteins to be produced in the semen in a man's testicles. If this guy maybe spoke a little bit better English. Romy says, you almost got it right. First it's weed, then eat a cheeseburger, and then forever sleep. Romy just said sleep.
Organ in the testis, and you can see there are almost no spermatocytes in here, but it's strongly expression of spike protein in the spermatogonic tissue. If I were a woman in fertile age, I would not plan a motherhood from a man who has been vaccinated.
Now, Dr.
See, you heard that part? Yeah, boys, we're up. We're up, boys. It's our time to shine. I got enough already, okay? I got fucking 5 kids, all right? I don't need any more. Sorry, ladies. Sorry, ladies, this pure blood's spoken for. I got 5 kids already. I'm good. But anybody else probably in this chat, huh? Good to go.
Burkhardt is, he's not just a nobody. He taught at the University of Hamburg. He was a professor, a visiting professor, not only in Japan, the United States, Korea, Sweden, Malaysia, and Turkey. So he's got a really, really strong foundation of credibility, and people listen to him. Now, for him to make a recommendation that women of childbearing age not have relationships with men who've been vaccinated should be shocking to everyone out there. Everyone listening should be infuriated, because what happens to the women who
But they won't be infuriated, because you see all the fluoride in the water has made people docile, sir. Hey, people should be infuriated about a lot of fucking things, and I don't hear a peep from nobody. It's very few. Big Mike, I got grandkids. My work here is done. Oh man, it ain't. Maybe it ain't. Okay, for the species, man, they're about to doom 85% of us. We're gonna need to repopulate. I'm gonna have to warm up my wife's pipes. Just kidding. Just kidding. Oh my God. There's like almost 40 in here. Everybody hit the follow if you're on X, hit subscribe if you're on YouTube, hit bells and all the other things. So every time I go live, you could come join this craziness. But thank you everybody for showing up and hanging out. This is great. Big Mike, I don't think your job's done. Just kidding.
Scientists have said that too, but go ahead.
Yeah, what happens to the generations to come for the women who did have relationships with men who had the vaccine? And they're having this basically mutation of the spermatozoa where it no longer exists. And now you're doing the shedding effect. And what happens to the generations to come? We have no idea what it's going to do to them.
Again, people that don't know who Jesse is, he's an amazing individual.
Big Mike. We don't need my small loudmouth offspring running around. Big Mike, we need more of that. We need more little loudmouth, little offspring running around. I got a granddaughter. I have a grandchild. She's going to be a little pistol. 2 years old already running around the house. God damn it. Fucking shit. That's my son and his girlfriend raising her right. Could never have enough. You know, strong-minded, shit-talking, not pushed around types.
Individual. He was a high-level firefighter and EMT and a bunch of other stuff. And then he began to learn what was happening in California with people, began investigating it decades ago. And then now he's all over the place at the EU, the U.S. government, everywhere with researchers and talking to world leaders, compiling this covert war. And like months ago, he's on talking about something and literally comes out right after he says it. It's just wild. So, Jesse, it's really great to have you here with us. I appreciate you sitting there while I played some of those clips. That's just the tip of the iceberg, but you sent me a whole bunch of articles and things. Sperm parameters before and after COVID-19 mRNA. You have all these studies that literally eats the testicles and ovaries, effects of COVID-19 vaccination, semen parameters. We've got effects of SARS-CoV-2 on semen. This is one of the main targets where young men are dying, and when they do the autopsy, I know we've covered this last week, this is like scientists covering this, they cut up the testicles, there's no sperm, it's been taken over, and it's only replicating spike protein, the HIV spike protein, which again, the testicles are supposed to grow biological things, so it's perfectly programmed to do that. Jesse, break this down for us. Great to have you with us.
Yeah, well, the bottom line is that, you know, back in 2010, a lot of people really questioned my sanity, and I set out on a journey to make sure that I very methodically was able to prove that this phenomenon was happening here on U.S. soil prior to 2016, which the U.S. government claimed was only happening to diplomats and federal employees.
You're talking about Havana syndrome.
It's all one big program. It's all the same, and it all circles around to this. I didn't put. There was one big piece of the puzzle that was missing, and that was when I went to go interview Dr. Cruz. And when he talked about this sixth extinction event that is approaching us at an unprecedented speed, and which
sixth extinction event. What the hell?
Very much bothered him, and he was very perplexed and wasn't sure if he could even convey the information. But he preyed upon it, and he gave us that information, and it was when it finally clicked to me. If what Dr. Cruz is saying is true, the elites are going to have some type of mechanism in order to track everyone around this globe, not just humans, but animal life, vegetation, and everything, because...
And that's why it replicates as nanotech and spreads into everything. Like in the Johnny Depp Singularity, what was the movie called? What was his, like 20 years ago? He becomes a dust that fills the earth to save us. And the AI takes over the whole planet. What was that movie called?
I can't remember the name, but I know which movie you're talking about. But here's the bottom line. If there are only going to be a few areas on the planet to live, and which we can call green zones, then the elites in those within those green zones are going to have to be able to monitor everyone who's infected with radiation so that they're kept out of those green zones so they don't infiltrate them. And that is a hypothesis that pretty much answers all of the questions.
And we have a Bill Gates patent about nanotech spike protein to track you by satellite and to monetize it, which is the ghost murmur system.
Correct. Now, remember, we found that pilot using quantum magnetometry.
No, you said, I'm interrupting because it's so crazy. We got to have, I wish I had a bigger crew. We go find what you said this like 6 months ago. You were saying the nanotech can be picked up by 5G cell towers, but also satellites, and it's a tracking system, which Bill Gates admits. Now they go, oh, we know where to find the pilot. We have a ghost murmur. Well, not just because they can scan a heartbeat, but because they have them implanted. Sorry, go ahead.
Exactly. And so just think about that. They were able to track his heart signal using quantum magnetometry because you have these amplification systems in you. And that's what's in the nano. You're talking about the graphene oxide. You're talking about the silicon materials, which are in all electronic components. And these are no different. They're just of a much, much smaller size that the human eye cannot see. 50 nanometers and smaller, which 50 nanometers is 1/2000th times the width of a human hair. You'd never be able to see that on most microscopes. You have to have these very expensive $1 million microscopes that most research facilities in the military has in order to see these. Now, what is most disturbing, we talked about the Trojan horse that Dr. Sherry Tenpenny talks about, where when they were doing the testing and that the nano was in the hydrogel. Dr. Rima Lebeau, who is a friend who's been on your program and who is a friend, close colleague, friend of ours, our team, and she has been spot on. She has been touting the whistle just as long as you have, Alex, and telling everyone
longer.
That this was
She's
coming.
One of my sources. Her husband was the head of the Army. That they were going to give us a shot to erase our immune system. She was saying that 20 years ago. We said it on record 2009 on Ventura's show, and she was treating, because of HIPAA, she can't say, global royalty. And they were telling her 20 years ago the plan.
Correct. And, kudos to Dr. Rima, because she stood by her ground. She stood on a moral ground. She stood by her ethics, and she stood by the truth. And for that, I admire her, for doing that, because we need more patriots like her, patriots for humanity. And we talked about the Trojan horse being the testing. Now, here was the other Trojan horse. They sterilized humanity, and Dr. Arne Burkhardt, who was a German pathologist who was doing autopsies on individuals who had died. They were postmortem after getting the jab.
Trump kind of said this the other day, didn't he? He was talking about 5G signals, and he was like, yeah, we'll see. He's like, we can x-ray you through walls. Could have sworn I just saw that about a few days ago. And he was talking about that. So that's nice. It's everybody's going to have trackers. Well, I mean, I don't know what sort of install mechanisms they've used for people who didn't go along with the jabs. I mean, are we safe? I'm sure probably if you ate eggs between this date and that date, all the eggs had tracking the nano bots in there. Let me hear this guy out. We're going to move on.
From ages 28 on up into the 70s. And what he discovered was that the spike protein not only infiltrated all of the organs within the human body, but specifically it completely attacked the testicles and the gonads, basically stopping and preventing them from producing sperm. And if we could pull that up, it's very enlightening, and this should infuriate every single person out there watching this program right now. Because at the end, I want you to pay close attention to what he's recommending to all women of childbearing age.
And by the way,
if we
since
could
the
pull that up, Alex.
60s, since the 60s, the UN has been obsessed and developed birth control or sterilization vaccines. They talked about using self-replicating viruses to do it. So what is it you're saying? Pull up, and we'll pull it up.
Yeah, it's Dr. Arne Burkhardt.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to play. That's clip one?
Should be, yes.
All right, so here's clip one, and then let's just go right into Died Suddenly, 2 official trailer exclusive. Play both those back-to-back.
We could confirm that the spike protein is produced in the deltoid muscles where the vaccine is administered, injected. But we could show it in almost all organs, more or less explicitly. And here you see a case where we show the testes, and you can see that in this 28-year-old man who had a healthy son and who died 140 days after injection, the spike protein is strongly expressed in the spermatogenic organ in the testes, and you can see there are almost no spermatocytes in here, but it's strongly expression of spike protein in the spermatogenic tissue.
This is the evil shit we're dealing with here, folks. It's basically like a sterilization. I mean, the patient that he's talking about, whose testicles they're looking at right now on a big giant screen, died 140 days after being administered the shot. And then during an autopsy, they looked at his gonads and were like, hey, there's no sperm in here. It's just chock full of spike proteins. And they know what they're fucking doing. Again, 85% of the world population they want gone. Georgia Guidestones. Okay? Literary works by the Rothschilds and Rockefellers. And even Bill Gates himself on stage with a microphone speaking to a crowd have no qualms about keeping that secret, that they want the world population to go down. But everybody's too docile to be, because yeah, every American who got that shot should be fucking furious. But they might not believe any of these findings. Maybe it's all BS. And they're like, well, won't happen to me. Hey, we're in our mid-20s and we can't get pregnant. What the hell's going on? I don't know. Maybe it's your sperm, huh? Maybe your sperm sucks. Maybe your eggs aren't fertile. Or maybe you've gotten 7 boosters. I don't know. You might want to look at all the findings. I'm sure those kids were vaccinated, knowing the streamers I was listening to. Yeah. Romy, I missed it. Vaccinated with what? The C19 mRNA gene therapy and all of its follow-up boosters are making men infertile. If it doesn't kill you, your balls will be filled with spike proteins and no jizz whatsoever. Because they just don't want us repopulating. Again, it's a very anti-human agendas. Just seems kids' immune systems aren't as strong. Yeah. If their parents took them in. Oh, God, remember when they said it was safe for kids up to 6 months old? I knew someone personally who took their child in who was under the age of 1 to go get vaccinated. Yep. If
I were a woman in fertile age, I would not plan a motherhood from a man who has been vaccinated.
Well, it was once considered a conspiracy theory.
Mysterious brain injuries.
Declassified CIA documents prove that, yes, the CIA actually has been, for decades, researching how vaccines could be used for mind control.
A previously unknown weapon.
Brutal directed energy weapon systems that are designed to incapacitate.
Wounded by a secret weapon.
Individual over a certain period of time will produce psychological and physical reactions.
I immediately felt fullness in my head.
Full body convulsion.
And just a piercing headache.
Like someone squeezing your head.
Absolutely life-altering.
The incidents became known as Havana Syndrome.
Havana Syndrome.
Directed energy attacks on U.S. soil.
It was happening not only to our diplomats, it's happening to the best of our best in the FBI, the CIA, and now congressional members in Congress.
It is essentially a declaration of war against the United States.
Well, I'm not allowed to talk about it. It discombobulated everything.
Is the government trying to mind control me?
There are a number of resources that wanted to step out, and they're not alive anymore.
And they began to basically beat him to death.
Unfortunate that I didn't die.
Nobody on this planet has any right to cattle tag human beings. Nobody.
All right, so we're not on the verge.
It's time to start participating, folks. It's time to stop participating. Like, yeah, we want off this ride. Yeah, I've seen enough. I get it. World domination, you want to control. I get it. I get what you're doing. I get it. Yeah, it's not gonna. I don't want to partake in this one. Nah, no. It's cool. You go ahead and play your little game. You know, you and all those other old lizards. You guys, play a good game of chess or something, but we're just going to head on out. We've seen enough. Thank you. Yeah. I'm not going to go to work anymore. I'm not paying my taxes. Just go fuck yourselves. Which, if they're lizards, they could do, couldn't they? Aren't there a lot of reptilians who are just asexual? They could just fuck themselves. It's not fun anymore. I want off this ride.
Urge of revelation or disclosure on this. It's all coming out. Why is it coming out now? And continue to break down what that clip about the attack on the testicles is doing.
Well, basically what they've done, they've sterilized humanity. And that was another Trojan horse, basically a fallout of what no one expected. We just thought the goal was to infect you with the nano so that they can have a mechanism to control you through RF integration, that meaning 4G, 5G, 6G, and satellite technologies that integrate with these amplified antenna systems that are in the nanotech, these nanorobots. And without the amplifications in the nanotech, you could not use satellite systems, quantum satellite systems using magnetometry to locate that soldier, for example. But it does work when you utilize these materials. And that's where we're at today. Now, if you notice at the end of that film, that little clip by Dr. Burkhardt. Now, Dr. Burkhardt is, he's not just a nobody. He taught at the University of Hamburg.
What we're dealing with. They're not human. Maybe when they tell you in their books that they're starseeds, maybe they are. Maybe they are. And the rest of us just need to go. It's the weirdest thing because, they look at us like we're the parasites and causing all the problems. And it's like, no, actually, you guys are causing all the problems. And then you're turning around telling us that it's our fault. So we can't eat beef anymore. The cows. The global warming. Yeah, cows are causing global warming. People eating steaks are causing global warming. Really? That's your story. You're going to stick to that one. That's what it is, really. Now I'll keep eating my steak. And then they double back. We're like, all right, fuck you. Keep eating your steak. Because now we're going to just let loose ticks all over the place. And when you get bit by it, now you'll die if you eat a steak. What now? Well, yeah, it's a bit abrasive. It's a bit of bully ball, ain't it? And then you just keep going along with it. Keep going along with it. Here's a jab. Everybody's got to get it. I mean, we talked earlier, just a little bit ago, right, about they're offering you the weed. They were offering you cheeseburgers to get the jab. Then they had other tactics, too. This one was my favorite. Thank God I didn't work for a company that did this, because I might be fucked. Because they were like, companies and the government couldn't force you to get it. That would be unconstitutional. But instead, what they could do is play word salad game and go, hey, look, we're not telling you have to do it, because you don't have to. It's a free country. But you're just not going to work here anymore. You're going to get fucking fired. And it's like, well, come on. That's the same thing. You just worded it in a way that it falls back on me, and I did it to myself. And that happened with all of our military. So many people who stood their ground got discharged. Boom, out of there. Because they were like, yeah, I'm not taking it. Sorry. So they tried all these different mechanisms on how to force people to get it. And then they got it. And now all these things are coming out now of like, oh, we knew about the injuries that happened. We saw all the reports. We saw people's TikToks and Instagrams all showing us that poor black nurse, when she was crying. She was devastated. She got Bell's palsy. She was one of the first ones to get it, too. This was really early on in the rollout. Don't get it. Like, my life's ruined, and the whole thing. Then you saw that very first nurse on the TV. I showed the montage a couple shows ago. I showed the montage. Just one person falling out after another, after another, after another. And then along comes Joe Rogan. Oh, I was taking ivermectin. I'm good. Boom. Here comes the smear campaigns. He's eating horse paste. Oh, you want to be like him and eat horse paste? Stupids. Trust the science. Because that was another thing. Trust the science. They come up with these catchy little slogans that they think are slick because the goldfish slaves will repeat them ad nauseum and believe whatever slogan they're told to say. Trust the science. Trust the science. Yet the science was changing every other day. The science was changing. But Ezra, that's science, man. Bro, you just don't know science. You're a fucking idiot. You just don't know science. Even though the premise is correct, the more you study something and research it, yes, you will have a different opinion and you'll have new information. So yes, science can change. But watching the whole thing unfold, it just really seemed like they were just making shit up. Okay, this is coming from somebody who doesn't know science. Yeah, wear a mask. All right, wear a mask. 2 days later, wear 2 masks. Because people are like, I wore a mask and I still got infected. What the fuck? All right, then try 2 masks. Then finally we know it graduated to fucking 3 masks. Then later find out actually the masks didn't do shit. You could have wore 10 masks. It doesn't fucking matter. Can you smell a fart through those 10 masks? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that doesn't work. Big Mike. Yeah, 2020 broke me. The amount of retards running around was eye-opening. Yeah. And that, too, in terms of like how easily the human mind is able to be manipulated. It's really easy. You had fellow slaves accosting other fellow slaves at stores because they weren't wearing a mask. Again, mind you, a mask that doesn't do anything. It was a symbol more than anything. That's the way it turned into me. That's how I was walking around in some bizarro upside down reality world where I'm at stores watching people wearing masks going, well, you fucking brainwashed motherfucker, you. You know what? God bless. I'm going to be over here getting my groceries. They still do it. I still operate every day out in the Matrix, and I'll be driving, and I'll see fucking retards driving in their cars wearing a mask, alone, with nobody else in the car with them. Now, I'm not completely ignorant. I can understand maybe they have a health issue. But I have to tell you, I know it's not all of them. They all just don't have health issues. The programming still worked. And they're still be around today. I'm surprised nobody's in my chat calling me out right now. Ezra, you're fucking retard. Those masks saved lives. You ignorant fucking magtard. Like, I'm surprised. There's 40 of you here. If you guys are new, hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter. If you're watching me on Twitter, follow me there. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe. Doesn't cost you nothing. And you get to come watch all my antics twice a week. Yeah. It's bewildering. It's like, this is how easy it is to brainwash people. And like I've mentioned for like the last couple shows, man, it was easy for us to do back when Biden was president, to make fun of the libs. Like, oh boy, you guys are so fucking brainwashed. It's scary. It's really scary. But then you've got magtards who won't hold Trump accountable for some of the decisions that he's made since he started being president. So I'm like, oh, so this programming has worked like mightily for both sides of the aisle. And then we find ourselves here, like just in the middle, going like, hey, what the fuck? What the fuck's going on right now? Like, is there anybody who's sane? Is there anybody who can see it? Can anybody see the game? It's right here. Can you see it? You don't see the coding? No, they can't. Because of what Romy says. Because we're fucking stupid. And I'll say we. I'll take accountability with all humans, all of us. But this is the shit that we do. Okay? We go on shows and we talk about these things. We just air it out there. Just put it out there. Let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's not believe everything that we're told. All the narratives that we're given, it's, again, just assume it's the fucking opposite of what they say, and it's really easy to figure it out. It's not that hard. They could literally go on the TV and tell you the sky's fucking purple. And you go, well, that's impossible. Sky's not fucking purple. Go to the window and go look. Nope, sure enough, it's blue. It's not blue, you fucking conspiracy theorist. You don't know. You don't even know colors. You got to trust the science, bro. The sky's purple. No, just literally. Anything you see on the TV, just know it's the exact opposite. And that's the truth. Which, again, when this alien shit with the UFOs comes out, I'm just like, oh, no, don't do this. Don't do this to me. Don't you want to watch the game? Don't do it. Leave the aliens alone. I was really comfortable with you just telling me they weren't real. That was my comfort zone. But again, a lot of these doctors were saying all these things like during the pandemic, just to be ridiculed, called names, shit, got their medical licenses taken away. Those 12 doctors from California, they got nuked like right out of the gates. Right out, they came out. Remember, it was a big thing. These 12 doctors from California, of all places, when they were saying they were going to shut everything down, everybody's going to quarantine. These 12 doctors were like, well, no, it's throughout history. You don't quarantine everybody. That's not how pandemics work. You quarantine the sick. You don't quarantine fucking everybody. Boom, nuked them. Gone. And that whole message, memory hold, never to be heard again. You 12 medical licenses taken away. You're done. You're toast. Careers over. Years and years and years of schooling to get your PhD fucking gone because you wanted to talk outside of the narrative. And then what the fuck did we find out? Oh yeah, maybe we shouldn't have quarantined everybody. Oh, well, I don't know, better. We'll know next time, right? Yeah, we'll know better next time. We'll see. We'll see, because it's coming around the bend. We'll see. Romy, I repeat, humans are a stupid species. Easily manipulated. Like, too easy. That shit is too easy. And it's infuriating. It's infuriating. I get so upset and frustrated because I just, again, this is why I started the show. Just because, like, I'm like, there's not enough voices out there. There is a lot, but it's just not enough. We're not waking up fast enough. And then what am I going to sit around just quiet and just shut up, Ezra? Don't worry. They'll wake up in time. Well, I'm scared they won't. So that's it. Now I'm throwing my hat in the ring because it's an depressing thing. So you're no problem, Romy. That's what I'm here for. But no, but it's kind of like I'm telling you, like, and it feels good to kind of just do this and have like you guys show up because it gives me hope of like, okay, I'm not alone. These guys get it. They see it too. And that's great. Because before starting this show, I felt alone. Like my kids don't want to hear it. My wife's like, Ezra, do you need to speak to somebody? Do you need help? Like, no, I don't need help. I'm fine. What the hell? Like, no. I just want you to see it. I'm not saying you have to believe what I believe. I'm just saying I want you to see it. That's it. Then that way, it takes care of itself because my biggest saying is, like, once you see it, fuck you, Romy. He's like, show up. We were here before you showed up. You guys had a show going before the show even started. But it's one of these things where, like, I just truly believe, like, when people finally see it, at that point, you can never, ever, ever unsee it. And that's it. Then it just is like a cascade of like just seeing through the bullshit from that point forward. Now you just see it all the time. You see it. And so I think that's super important. I think there is like a big awakening that's happening. It's just like I said, it's not fast enough. And how do I know it's not fast enough? Because nobody's fucking having a 10 million man march in DC for the last fucking time. Aliens, stick it up your ass. Another pandemic, also stick it up your ass. We want those names. You're running all this diversion because we want those names. And we'll just never flex and show them our numbers. The Million Man March. Black guys, they showed out. They did it. Well, why can't we just get all the slaves together? All us Mexican, Polish, German, Irish, Italian, Black, Chinese slaves all together and show our numbers. Because that's what it is. We're all slaves. They treat us like it. They call us it. Goyim, okay? Because we have to bring up the Israel fucking thing. The way that they talk about non-Jews in those fucking emails of Epstein's? Yeah. They're the chosen ones, not us. We're just fucking slaves. We were put here to serve them. And I think that's how all the world leaders, Bill Gates, I think he thinks the fucking same. Anybody who's been to that fucking island, that's what they think. The Clintons, the fucking whoever the fuck else has been there. Again, look at us like we're gum on the bottom of their shoes. That's it. They can poison us, and they're like, fuck you. You're eating poison. And then when you get sick, we're going to inject more poison into you. I'm starting to get all fucking high blood pressured again. Because again, nobody's like, no, you got to trust the science, man. They would never. They would never do that. You know how much trouble they would get into if they actually did that? In trouble with who? With themselves? They own everything. They literally own everything. And again, the prisons they built, they're not for them. I'm telling you, I think the Epstein thing, his friends put him in the jail where he sat there for a couple weeks because he was going through detox. They were trying to detox him off of the jerky. And then they put in some cadaver, said it was him, and walked him right out the front door. Because again, he wasn't just like some stool pigeon of theirs. He was a fucking friend of ours. A powerful friend at that. They weren't just going to let something bad happen to him. Nah, he was in there detoxing. When they were like, you good now? You off the sauce? You off the jerky? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm good now. I'm good. Get me out of here. Yeah, and they broke him right out. It's too big to ever come out. Okay, and that's fine. That's fair. Then we're done. Then we're done here. We're done playing. You guys can do whatever rituals you're doing. Invite all these demons into your house. Have at it. We're out of here. We're done. We're done. Yeah. Oh, no, that's genius. See, the internet's really great sometime today. Jesus, the internet's really good sometimes. But you saw this in real life, a sticker. Your guess is Israeli high. You like that? That's damn Skippy. See, the guy who had that sticker, he knows what we're talking about here. He gets it. He saw it. Yeah. He just had like cosmetic surgery too to change something with his teeth or something because he was sick and tired of people thinking he was Epstein. Because, man, he looks really, really a lot like him. Oh, that poor son of a bitch. It's probably him. And he's pretending to be some other person. But yeah, no, you're right. And we're never going to know. That's the reality. I think that's probably like that's more fuel that pisses me off, Romy. Yeah, that's the guy, Big Mike. Pensacola Pete. In Florida. Like, yeah, don't go too far away from the island. You want to stay close by to the island. That's what you want to do. But yeah, that's what pissed me, because we're never getting them. This alien shit, it's going to play out exactly how they want it to play out. We're just going to have to watch. Again, it's like a theater that we get to live. It's real life theater. So however that's going to play out, it's going to play out. However the shit in Iran's going to play out, it's going to play out that way. And we're the pay pigs. So we're just going to keep paying. Whatever the bill is, we got it. Because we're the slaves. Don't forget, we pay for everything. We do all the work and push all the buttons and pull all the levers and still pick up the tabs for everything. Slaves. We're slaves. I actually might rename this fucking show. The Book of Ezra. A show for the slaves. Shouldn't even be America first. It should be America only. That's where I'm at. That's how angry I am. Because I used to be like, I don't have a problem helping other countries that need help, but can we make sure shit's awesome here first? Now I'm so pissed off, I'm going to fuck everybody else. America only. Because when we start helping other countries again, that's when the bullshit starts to creep back in. So it's like, nah, you're on your fucking own. Don't write us letters. Don't ask for help. Ain't going to happen. Figure it out. You guys figure it out. But yeah, we're way too late for that. It should have stayed America first back in 1776 and just stayed that course the whole time. The whole next 250 years. But no. Oh, let's help them. Oh, let's help them. Oh, let's help them. Let's give money to them. Sesame Street in Iraq. Let's do that. Gender studies in Africa. Let's do that. Let's fund that too. Gender studies in Africa. They hate the gays over there, but we're going to push it on them, though. That was another embarrassing clip. Yeah, here, this another one. This one's been going on for decades and decades and decades. Because we're just slaves, Romy. We're just slaves. We're not anything special. Us, fellow slaves, look at those soldiers and are like, dude, we owe you everything. For you going out there and fighting some meaningless bullshit war that the lizard people sitting behind desks made you go do. We should totally respect you and honor you. But then the actual people in the government who could facilitate that don't. Because they don't give a fucking flying monkey's rat's ass about any of the slaves. Especially the ones that go out and actually do their dirty work. Because our vets are the ones who went out and did the real dirty work. Nope, they don't get fucking shit. Nothing. 250 years seems more like a funeral rather than a celebration. Yeah, that's really what it is, Big Mike. The 250-year funeral. I saw that shit. I'm telling you, I saw it like people's houses where I'm driving around town, seeing the 250-year flags. It was depressing. It was depressing to see that because I'm like, that was it. 250 years. That's like the equivalent of a one pump chump. All right, here we go, baby. Tips in there, one pump. Oh, God. Ah. That's it? Yeah, that's it, babe. Ah, that's it. 30 seconds of hell. You're welcome. I mean, it wasn't at the very beginning. It was pretty fucking based at the beginning. Civil War? I thought the Civil War might have been pretty cool. A lot of motherfuckers died to prove a point there. Right? And slavery. That shit's bullshit. I'm sure there was probably more factors, but slavery being the biggest factor. That was good. A lot of motherfuckers died for that, again, to prove that point. And then it just slipped away. Just slipped away. The real controllers of the country accepted the fact, okay, slavery's over. Okay. Guess what now? Now you're all fucking slaves now. How about that? Huh? They don't think of race then. They're not worried about race then when they're making us all fucking slaves. And our houses that we live in are just jail cells that we pay for. Constantly monitored and surveilled and given experimental fucking drugs just constantly. We'll find out about the side effects after. You lab rats have it up that we're going to force you to fucking get. And then, well, I don't know. We'll figure out what the side effects after once a bunch of you start croaking. It's like, okay, like fellow slaves, are we gonna keep taking this? We're gonna keep going along with it because that is kind of, again, that's the rules here. Satan tells us, hey, this is what I'm gonna do to you, and you either go, yeah, okay, that's fine. Like I said, chip away, put the chip in there, let's go. Or you're like, nah, fuck off, fuck you, we're done. We're done here. And now it's like a race. And I think we're losing the race. Remember a couple episodes ago, I'm like, start gardening and shit like that, and communicating with neighbors and loved ones, or if you have family nearby, that's even better. But start coming up with a plan. Well, here we got aliens, food shortages, and another pandemic on deck. Might be too fucking late. Might be too late. They start locking shit down. Alex said already in Europe, and we know they're well fucking taken over there. They're already telling people to put masks on. That's step one. Stop air travel. So they're already phasing in phase one over there to our British cousins. Oh, boys. I know, it's depressing. But the football season is upon us. Okay? I think some of you guys tonight were watching some modern day gladiators. Let us drink the nectar of the gods and enjoy the small little freedoms that we have left. But go out and buy some bags of soil, boys, and get some heirloom seeds. Yeah, get your hands on some fucking heirloom seeds. Don't even plant them. You know, just have them in a fucking drawer. Put them in a Ziploc bag and just keep them in the drawer until you need them. Make sure you've got enough water and like storable foods that'll last 6 months, and then your crops will be ready to harvest by the time you run out of the storable food. Water filtration systems. Collect rainwater and filter out all those metals. I don't know. But I'm glad that you guys showed up tonight. I had a great time. You boys are never a dull moment. Thank you guys for being... Oh, and Romy, you guys weren't early. Every Saturday night, it's 10 p.m. Eastern. 10 Eastern. My guy. 10 p.m. Eastern. I'm never earlier. Thursdays Decoded is early because I have work, but Saturday night has always been 10 p.m., man. Although I was prepping and getting the show ready, and you guys saw that I was going to go live, you guys were in the chat. Oh, why Eastern? Because I'm on the East Coast, baby. I'm on the East Coast. Oh, we're all Central. God, doesn't YouTube change the... Well, damn it, then it's 9 Central. That's all my guys are in Central Time Zone. Yeah, I'm on the East Coast. It's at 8:02. It just, you know what it does? It just gives what time, like when I set up the stream and then it actually posts, it just says that current time. Romy, did you join the Discord? I'm going to start having to put things in the Discord. Or you guys know now. I don't have to repeat it every time. Saturday night, 9 Central. I'll do the math in my head. Every Saturday, 9 Central. I'm trying to think. On Thursdays, I go 8 o'clock. I go 8 or 9 o'clock Eastern, so it'll be 7 or 8 Central on Thursdays. I'm sorry about the confusion. We'll work it out. See, this is us. We're communicating. This is what we do. But yeah, Saturdays is a late show. Okay, 9 Central, which isn't bad for you guys, but me being an hour ahead kind of sucks. especially if I have work the next morning, which I don't tomorrow, but I have Bear Show. I got to get up hella early. I am an early bird, so it doesn't bother me, but the Bear Show's early, especially when the season starts, when we start even earlier. It's fine. I do it for the love of the game. I love getting behind this microphone and just bumping my gums. Talk all kinds of shit. Talk football for Bear Shows. I talk conspiracies here and aliens, and yeah. Nah, man. Everybody's just keep staying active in the Discord. You know, in the Bears Discord, we got Vincent. We got Vince, the Packers fan. He's in there. He's bumping his gums. We're yucking it up. But yeah, definitely. You know what? That too. If you guys have any Bears fans in your lives, like, invite them to the Discord. I want that Bears Discord to have like 1,000 people in there. Just talking football shit. Eventually, when we start finding more like-minded people who get into aliens or space is fake or the government and the world's elites want us all dead, once we start getting more, then that Discord page will also blow up. Again, 40 of you watching. This is really great. Down in the descriptions of the videos are links to all of our channels, my channels, all of our content. The Discord links are there. I invite you guys to follow, subscribe, and do all those things. Like my video game channel, follow that. I'm taking the Bears in 2K5 right now to the Super Bowl. I actually think Monday is going to be a long-ass stream of me playing 2K5 with the Bears. Current rosters, mind you. Current rosters. 2K5. But what else? Everything Bears. If you guys aren't here for the conspiracy show and you're a Bears fan, follow that channel. If you're watching on Twitter, just hit follow on Twitter and just follow me there. Romy. I just figured you lived in Chicago because of the hat and the other show. Yeah, no, I was born and raised at Six Corners. I say Six Corners. Wedge says Jefferson Park. We grew up right across the street from each other on the northwest side. I say Six Corners. But we grew up there, went to grade school and high school there. It wasn't until right when I graduated high school, my folks moved like way out to the suburbs, like up by Crystal Lake, McHenry County, up that way. And that was it. Ezra grew wings and flew. Moved out, started doing my own shit. So yeah. And then eventually, I don't know what age I was when I left Illinois in general. What age was I? Mid to late 20s. I left Chicago. Moved to Baltimore, actually. Spent about 7 years in Baltimore. Then moved to Tampa. Did a few years in Tampa. Then went back home for a jiffy. Little year, 2 years. Where I lived just south of Joliet because I was working at the railroads. Quit the railroads and went right back to Tampa. And then I've been with a big furniture manufacturer for 12 years, essentially. Let me see. Can you believe some asshat picked the Bears to go 15-2? I do. I'm actually fond of the fellow who did, so you watch your mouth, Big Mike. 15-2. Hey, you know what? If they do it, I'd say that's probably like a Super Bowl. We're bowl bound if the Bears finish 15-2. Yeah, Wedge just like, I wonder who that asshat was. Romy says that's funny. I moved to Illinois when I was 22 from Wisconsin and Colorado before that. Yeah, there's something about our generation. just moved around. I don't know. That's what we did. Families started doing that. Like, it was weird because, like, my family unit growing up, dude, we were just tight. The whole family was tight, like, all the time. And then, like, when our generation started to hit, like, mid-20s, it just relocated far. Not everybody, but I hear this story a lot. I mean, especially where I live. I live in North Carolina right now. Like, nobody who lives here is from here. Nobody. Very rarely do I meet a born and raised native of this state. They're from all over. California, New York, Buffalo, Florida, Texas, Chicago, Wisconsin. I can't tell you how many fucking Packers fans I come across doing what I do. And I'm usually wearing a Bears hat or my Bears hoodie or a Bears shirt. And when I pull up to their house, their cars or trucks have the Green Bay front license plate thing. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And as soon as they open the door, they're like, get out. Get off my lawn. You know, and I'm laughing. And then we bust each other's balls for about an hour, and then I leave. But yeah, I don't know. What are we talking about tomorrow, Wedge? Yeah, well, you know what? That's still not out of the realm of possibilities, right? Because I think Wedge brought it up on the last show. The fucking mayor is trying to run some interference and trying to screw over the Bears, but I wish they would just rip the Band-Aid off and just get over it, okay? Bears fans, we're ready. We've been bracing for impact for 4 years now. Yeah, just go to Indiana. We're done. Call it a day. Go to Indiana. Stop it. If fucking Illinois, between the mayor of Chicago and the governor, want to keep playing fucking games, fuck it. Fuck you then. Lose out on the jobs. Lose out on the tax revenue. Just fuck you. Fuck you. Oh, nice. Oh, those are fucking sweet. Bears tax, rookie camp, and more. Oh, that's right. We had a lot of pressers. That was cool. It almost feels like we're almost back to get to hear from Ben Johnson, then the draft class, then Dennis Allen, and then even the OC. What's the kid's name? I watched his presser today. I was impressed. I was impressed by his press conference because I didn't know much about him. Press Taylor, that's the guy. And that's right, the Bears tax, that's a real fucking thing. We are going to talk about that. Because that's a real thing, right? That's something that I think Bears fans, we've been bitching about that forever. Like, how is it that, and what did that guy's study show? I'd like to have that guy on the show. That when opponents play against the Bears and you accumulate all the penalties of all the Bears opponents, they're the least penalized teams in the league playing against the Bears. And then somehow the Bears finished second. So they're the second most penalized team. And if you're a Bears fan, you've been watching for 10 years or more, you see it. You're like, Jesus, we can't get a fucking call for shit. And then we're getting called all the time. I mean, Justin Fields was getting murdered. No flags. Caleb is getting murdered and no flags. I don't, it's a real fucking thing. That's why the guy did the study. He's not a conspiracy theorist. He saw the patterns and he was like, you know what? I'm going to start crunching these numbers. And he found out what he found out, and then he shared it with the rest of us. That's doing God's work. The Bears tax is crazy. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one too. Logan Jones wearing 54. He had to get special permission. No, he didn't have to get. The equipment manager is, I think, who he asked. But then I heard too that he reached out to Urlacher and wanted his blessing first, and Urlacher told him, go ahead, young buck. The Bears are going to be fast this year. Yeah. I think this kid, we're using tomorrow's content, but you guys are rolling now. The kid's Zion is Zion. Help me out. It's late. It's past my bedtime. And I'm not in Bears mode right now. I've got Rockefellers and fucking Bill Gates in my head. Xavion. Wedge coming in clutch. Yeah, LA had a damn near perfect game in the playoffs. Romy as well, Xavion. Yeah. This kid's gonna be a demon. I think Ben Johnson is going to deploy this kid in a way that we'd never seen before. Hey, this kid's going to be lining up at running back. He might be taking some carries. He might be a real snap. He might be a real ball carrier. More than we might think. Like we were just thinking, maybe he'll get those few little gadget things DJ was doing. Nah. Or maybe he's going to be lining up at halfback, running an off tackle outside zone. He's going to try to use this kid like he's Jahmyr Gibbs. Urlacher's wife called bullshit on that he'd never reached out. Uh-oh. Sometimes when you listen to the woman, the women will come out and be like, that was bullshit. Nobody called my husband. He told me. He's all pissed off at the dinner table because talking shit saying nobody called him. She gets right on Twitter. That fucking kid never called him. Never asked him shit. For any of you guys in the chats, you're going to hear this same rant I just went on tomorrow again. I'm giving away all the content for free ahead of time. You're right. Come on, we're going down a bear's hole here. Let's wrap this up. Tomorrow morning, I'll see you gentlemen for the Bear Show. Now that you know what we're going to be covering. Thank you so much for coming out tonight, everybody. Thank you so much again. 40 of you watched like the whole time. It's amazing. Have a good night. If you guys, again, down in the description, follow all the channels. But on this video, hit the like, hit the subscribe before you leave. Hit the like button before you leave. But you guys, it's been awesome. Stay safe out there. And I'll see you on Decoded again Thursday night. Until then, keep your eyes to the skies.